Hey, Elaine, can you start the meeting?
Are we all set? Can we open up the meeting? It's now 7:02. Okay. Call to order. Is there anyone on the Zoom conference call here that wishes to speak, to be identified and to speak at some time?
Not, somebody who's not on the agenda.
Who's not on the agenda? No?
You unmute her, Laurel.
Yeah, oh, hold on.
You can. Is there anyone not on the agenda that's on the call that wishes to speak?
Doesn't
Yeah.
look like it. No one's in the
That's it.
chat.
Doesn't look
We're
like
okay.
it. Everybody's there. Okay, then. We'll call the meeting. Can we have the approval of the minutes of December 16th?
Before I make a motion to approve the minutes, I actually just sent Ruth and the board a quick addition. I don't know if this came off the transcripts from the Zoom meeting, but it's a little glitchy.
Laurel, we can table it to the next
Yeah.
meeting and fix it.
So yeah, so I fixed it a little bit. If you
Yeah,
guys
I
do
usually,
it, and we can do it the next meeting.
yeah, I thought I did do that. I normally do that, but maybe I missed it. Or maybe Cindy sent you the version that I didn't correct.
Okay, well,
So just table them and we'll fix them for the next meeting.
I propose that we table the minutes because they need to be edited a little bit better.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
You need to do roll call.
Laurel? Laurel, go.
Aye.
Candace Linehan, aye.
Linehan?
Aye.
Okay, Silver, aye. All in favor? No ayes? No nays? Okay, so we'll table the minutes of December 20th.
Okay.
16th, rather, of 2020. Okay, first on the agenda is the variance request. Their first one on is for Gregory's Garden Center for a late fee for a dumpster permit. I think you all saw that letter. Cindy, is there anything you want to, in regards to this variance, may I ask you, have they ever been late before?
Yes, they have.
They have,
Oh.
okay.
As a matter of fact, one year, I literally drove there to hand deliver the application because it was so late.
They did admit that in the letter too.
Yeah. Was there any problem, Cindy? I mean, how many permits did you send out this year, roughly?
336.
336, and there's only, I believe, 2 people that have been saying that they're late because they did not receive it.
So there's 2 people on this for this hearing, but I do have a few others outstanding that didn't make it their letter variance request on time for this meeting. But yeah, out of all 320 or 36, I don't know exactly. There's only about 5 or 6 that are still pending.
Oh, sorry. Let me get her.
Laurel, or
Yeah, I got it.
did you want to say something?
How long have we been doing online? 3 years now?
No, this new viewpoint
Yeah,
is new. We just started it in June.
okay.
But I sent out, because it's new, I sent out the first notification, and I sent you guys the timeline for both Gregory's and the other. 10/21 was the first, 12/1 was the second, 12/16 the third, and 12/30 at the last notification. And that's plenty of time to familiarize yourself with this new system. And it's exactly the same form that you would fill out if you had the paper application. So we also reached out on the 8th, January 8th.
With a call?
With a call.
Okay.
And do things get sent in the mail also?
No.
No.
We haven't done, I don't think, since I've been there, we've never mailed.
So it's either online, or if that doesn't get responded to, ultimately a phone call. as sort of like the last effort.
Correct.
Is
So
this the
my-
first year you think that you've had this many not
No,
returned? or-
no, this is,
I think this is more than normal.
So this
Well,
is my, this is my thought, just because this has been happening to me a lot. I have an extraordinary amount of important things that keep going over to junk, and it's not until I get a call that someone's like, oh, didn't you get this? And I have to search my junk email. Being that Viewpoint is a new vendor, and that's what the computer is seeing, all of those, unless we ask for a red receipt, like when we send them out, sometimes you can ask, that the person actually opened it and read it, because it could be that all of those notifications went into a black hole. This has happened to me.
Is this what they said in their letter?
I'm not sure. Yeah, let me pull that up.
I'd also like to point out, these are not new vendors. These are
Right,
people who have
right.
had dumpster permits for many, many years.
I know.
And as I said, for Greg's Garden Center, they are chronically,
Yeah,
not sure too many other health directors that have driven to them to hand deliver applications.
you're right.
I
And
have no sympathy there, sorry.
yeah, I think the executive function is a little rough, seasonal. And as as he admits, he sits down after he survives Christmas season and looks at him. But
Uh,
if that's the case, then he could prepay it before the season starts in October.
Well, most people do know when their dumpster is due, and they
Yeah.
did get plenty of notice. But I mean, did he also say that he did call?
No.
That he did get the call? No, he did not.
No,
right?
that was the email we just got today on another, that woman called.
I mean, if he's had a past, I understand sometimes it can be, an oversight, but if you've done this in the past and have to be reminded every single year, and when you stop and you think of it, you have 300 and something go out, and the rest of the people are able to, and there was no return on an email or anything like that, Cindy, right? Nothing ever got returned.
oh, no.
So we know
Oh,
that
don't
he
make it
got it, and it is your responsibility.
I also think it doesn't sound like there's a hardship happening here. Like, I know we're in a pandemic, and so I'm more inclined to forgive folks that are financially unable to pay, but that doesn't seem like it's happening in this case, at least with these ones we've seen. Does that seem true to you guys too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was not mentioned.
Right.
So,
I would be more inclined to sort of try to work with someone if that was really the main issue with them paying their fee on time.
So is he $50 a day from January 1st on?
Yes.
yes,
It's a lot.
But if you remember, the first year that we did the late fees of $50 a day, there were a number of people who were late.
Yep.
And
We waived them.
the board voted to forgive the late fees except for one day. So everybody who was late, no
Yep.
matter how long they were late, had to pay just $50.
Yeah,
And at the time, the board said that was a one-time deal, that in the future, that's why there are late fees, so that we don't have to chase people down.
yeah.
So how much is his fee total now that he owes Cindy? the back?
well, so when I did finally get the check was on the 13th. So I stopped on the 13th basically because
Yeah.
he paid at that point and I didn't keep, so,
So
and
that would be $650.
Yeah.
correct.
So we stopped accruing the late fee.
What's the fee itself, aside from any?
$50 a day.
Yeah, it's $50 just because he has one dumpster at 2 yards or more. So his regular fee is just 50, but because of the late fee, that's where we're at with that.
Yeah, that hurts. That's a mistake.
And if you look at, I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at the timeline that I sent you in his history of when we did assess a late fee. He was, it shows the days that he's paid. And it's
Mhm.
always been right after Christmas. And
Mhm.
we, with the New Year's Day and the check arriving on my desk on the 3rd, it could have very well been in the mail. So we were pretty flexible, but where we spoke with him on the 8th and it still didn't show up till the 13th.
And does the option exist for him to sort of bring it down and put it in someone's hand in town hall?
Yeah, that's what
Actually, there's a mailbox outside of town hall by department.
Yep,
They're 24/7.
and we have one there.
General, yeah, we're
Yeah.
at the
Okay.
general mailbox.
Okay, so we're not waiting on the mail. That's not, no, okay.
Come 24/7 and drop it off.
And the check that you received on the 13th was for
$50.
$50.
What about
Was it
So-
post stamped?
so that's the fee for just the dumpster?
Yes, that's
Yes, the
correct. He
dumpster.
just wrote out the check for Town of Wakefield $50 dumpster fee on the 13th.
Even though he didn't know.
Correct.
Mhm.
Cindy, was it mailed or was it dropped off?
It was dropped off.
It was dropped off, not till the 13th. Oh, jeez. That's an expensive mistake. I remember doing these dumpster fees. I just, I think we thought that people would be so
And they are
moved
bad.
by
They-
the
yeah.
daily fee that,
Yeah.
that they wouldn't be late.
Well, the
Well,
dumpster fees
they
are
are
bad price wise. I mean, I don't know. I think we did a very fair price for dumpsters.
Yeah.
Knowing other communities. I know Ruth did a lot of work and we compared them and I think we had a pretty fair, pricing for it.
Yeah.
I
It's-
don't think that's the issue. The
It's-
issue
it's-
is
I
just,
think
he just doesn't get his act together and doesn't care
Yeah.
about getting his act together.
Mhm. That's true. So, any thoughts? Suggestions from the board?
Maybe we should be mindful that what we decide on this particular one might be something we should continue for the other ones that are either coming to talk to us today or at our next meeting.
Mhm. You're right.
One idea could be, as a compromise, is to forgive half the late fee.
That's exactly what I was about to
Yeah.
say.
Mhm.
It's not fair to everybody else who did do it on time, but that is a concession to try to be reasonable.
I know $750 is a lot, but then, he finally did come and pay it, but, he didn't even try to make amends and say, can I pay half or something like that. Laurel, do you, agree with something like that?
Yeah, I was
Julie?
just about to propose the same, that, to consider it half, to waive half. So it's $650 is what he owes. It's for 13 days late, right? It's due on the 31st.
So it's $50 for the fee and then
Right.
the late charges is, so 700 would be the total if you want to go half on that.
No, he paid 50.
Yeah,
So we'll
Only-
give half.
We're
of
only talking about the
650.
late fee, so
Yep.
half of that is $325, right?
you are
Correct.
correct. Sorry, yes.
I would propose, I would feel comfortable with that. And I think that also may be a reasonable precedent going forward. And it's still a bite.
Candace?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a fair precedent. I don't think we're out here to penalize people, but it was late and this isn't the first time. So I do think
Yeah.
that something should be paid. So I would be okay with forgiving half.
Somebody want to make a motion then?
Sure. So I make a motion that we reduce the late fee to 50% of 13 days to a cost of $325 in late fees.
I second that motion.
Second that. Laurel? Yay.
Corville, yeah, yes.
Linehan, aye.
Linehan, aye. Okay, Silver, aye. Okay, so forward. We will take the late fee and divide that in that 13 days by 50%.
And when do we expect that to be paid?
I would say we would have within, personally, I think within, what is this today? I think within 30 days. Don't you
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah.
Does that say okay? So we can add that on to the motion that it be paid?
And if, perhaps if it's not paid within 30 days, then the full late fee would apply?
We could do that. If you'd like to redo the
That is a
motion.
thorough. Shall we rewrite the motion?
Rewrite it, yep.
Okay, the motion on the table is to grant Gregory's Garden Center a variance in the late fee to 50% of the late fee for 13 days late, which would come to $325 to be paid within 30 days. If it is not paid within 30 days, the original fee will be charged.
Do I have a second?
Second,
Okay, all in favor? Laurel?
Corville, aye.
Linehan, aye.
Okay, Silver, aye. So moved. Do you have that, Cindy?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is another variance request that was made from Jiffy Lube on their late fee. And I believe we also have a copy of that. Cindy, any insight onto that one?
Okay, so did you get, you saw the letter, obviously, from the president, Mark Fantacola?
Yep.
And it's basically almost the same, exactly the same. Email reminders went out on the same timeline.
Okay.
And we did speak to him on the 8th. And apparently the local store email is what I was given. If you see if you see the timeline on what I sent you for a timeline, 2020, I had been given the local stores, and so they're the ones that were receiving the emails. In 2018-19, Mark, whom I don't know if he's on the line, he was on file. So whoever submits the application
Right.
is who I send the notices to. So
Right.
the last year was the store. They weren't doing anything apparently with the emails that they were getting. Nor were they not forwarding to whoever needed to have them if they weren't going to take care of it. So we did reach out, spoke to Mark, and nothing was done until I believe the 14th he submitted an application online. So he's in the exact same situation.
So in other words, Cindy, should their emails from going forward not be sent to the local store, but sent to this corporation?
I will send them to wherever they want me to send them. Just, it has to be on the application.
Right,
Okay.
that the onus is on them
It's right.
Right.
to fill the
And
application out.
many of our corporate businesses, they tell us, like Walgreens or CVS,
Mhm.
they have a licensing department and they tell us this is where we want it sent. And that's where we send it.
Right,
So as far as late fees in the past, they were pretty good. They didn't have any.
okay,
It's just that this year, when we spoke to them, alerting them to the fact that on the 8th, you're already 8 days late,
right,
still nothing got done. And it was him who had handled the applications in the previous years.
so we certainly should have known.
And why? I mean, why after you spoke on the 8th did it not happen the next day?
I don't know.
He probably had to go through corporate. A lot of them do have to go through their corporate offices for their checks. I know that from past experience, but he should have informed Cindy right away of that and given her the email address or had some kind of a proof to say to us that he did, ask corporate for the check, that, he didn't need it. That's, that's something that's responsibility.
Can this be paid online with a credit card?
Oh, yes, that's why we only do online payments now. Credit card, e-check. I mean, you can mail a check, but you need to let me know. I'm having accounting cut a check. Here's a check number on it. It's on its way, and it stops that process right there. At least it'll keep the application pending until the payment actually comes in. But yeah, so mailing a check is an option. E-check, credit card.
So it potentially could have been paid immediately if you talked to corporate after you had a conversation.
Yes, it sounds like he is corporate.
Oh,
because
right.
he says he's president,
Okay.
and he had handled the applications the 2 previous years. But then I had been given an email of the local store. So they were the ones that were getting the notices this year. So we reached out to Mark himself on the 8th and said, what's happening? And then it still didn't get paid till the 14th.
And he never even indicated to you, as it was indicated on this letter, going forward, please mail or email all correspondence to the corporate office. And he didn't even, say to you, why don't you send it to the corporate office? So from the store.
Yeah, no.
Excuse me, ladies, my name's Jesus Rosado. I'm one of the district managers in the Metro Boston area for Jiffy Lube.
Oh.
And I was just listening to you guys. I didn't know if there was going to be a point where I was going to talk or anything. And so I'm not really sure how this goes. So I'm sorry if I interrupted. But basically, I'm not sure why you guys were given the store email address, because, again, just like you guys were stating the whole time, we do have a corporate section that handles all this kind of stuff, which obviously if they would have gotten that, this would have never happened, as it's never happened before. And we really are sorry that happened, because we kind of pride ourselves on making sure that we're on time with all this kind of stuff. So we apologize for that. And I believe that I spoke to Erica or Stephanie earlier today, and they told me that they sent out a letter. I'm not sure if it was in the mail or an email, in which they also stated the email address in which we will be waiting for this email every year going forward. That way it doesn't go, unnoticed. So that's either in the works or already taken care of. And either way, when I get off the phone call tonight, I'm going to send an email and verify that they send you guys this information again to make sure that this never happens again. And with Mark, as far as paying it on at the moment when you guys spoke on the phone, it's my understanding the reason that he didn't pay for it at the moment was because, to his understanding, it was basically on hold until this meeting tonight, at which point we were supposed to discuss wherever it was going to go from here. So that's the reason why I believe he didn't place the payment on time on the 8th when you guys spoke to him initially. Again, I'm sorry the store either didn't notice it or didn't know what it was or deleted it or went to the junk file. I don't know. I can't give you guys an answer on that one. I'm sorry that happened, but again, we'll be 100% sure that this will never happen again.
And what is your name again, sir? Could you spell that?
My first name is Jesus, like in the Bible, J-E-S-U-S.
Uh-huh.
And my name is R-O-S-A-D-O, Rosado.
And you are the general manager for this area, is that correct?
No, I'm the district manager for the metropolitan Boston area for the company.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No problem. Again, I'm sorry if I interrupted. I'm not familiar with the process, so
Okay. Thank
So-
you.
Is there a formal request for a variance or just a clarification of information?
Basically,
Did they send
oh,
you
is that for?
asking for a variance? Did they not ask?
It was same as Gregory's. They sent a letter
Okay.
requesting the,
Late fees be waived.
well, yeah, well, it doesn't really say that actually in the
Right.
letter that they sent. Oh, no, I would like to dispute the late charges.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
You know, they have had a good record, and I haven't had problems with them being late in the past. Just as a note. But this particular year, for some reason, not only did the local stores not do anything with the email notification, nor did the president do anything after speaking to him on the 8th. I'm assuming he was trying to get someone else to take care of it, but
it did get paid on the 14th, the fee, only the fee, no late fee.
correct.
Okay.
And then that halted the going forward.
Right.
Because then he was requesting on the 14th, I would like to request a hearing, sent the letter, and
Mhm.
so
And
kind
what-
of,
how much is their late fee, Cindy?
it's the same.
So they would be 700 and half of that would be 350.
Yes.
Okay.
I would suggest the same plan we just made with Gregory's.
I agree.
Laurel, agree?
Yep.
Yeah. I think that has to be something we have to, make presence that,
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, this is on every applicant, every applicant has to understand their process, and the process was working. So it sounds like an error on their part.
And going forward, we do have the information for Cindy off that letter, so.
Well, they'll have it in the application online is
Okay.
where they'll automatically be able to, we'll all be able to automatically send a renewal notice to the online email, and they can hit a renew button and pay.
Okay, thank you, Cindy.
No, you're welcome.
So Mr. Rosado, oh, sorry, Elaine, but all right, I'm gonna speak out of turn. I would recommend that there be some kind of note in administration on Jiffy Lube that you should be definitely looking for notifications on the annual fees by the end of October, as our staff administrator so ably sends out notifications in October, the beginning of December, the middle of December, and the 30th day of December. So, those
I'd
are,
like to make one recommendation. I think that October is too early. And because it's so early,
they
they don't want to
disregard
pay
it.
out that money that early. So
Or it's just
my
getting
recommendation-
lost because it's not due until the
Well,
first.
let's
Right.
move that to November, like a
So
month
my
ahead.
recommendation is the first notice goes out November 15th. A reminder, December 1st, December 15th. A phone call the last week in December. And then the late fee is the late fee.
Yep.
I just sent it out as early as I did just this year because the system's new. And I
Right.
want people to get a little, they might take a minute to log in, create an account. And so it went on the 21st, but yeah.
Yeah, I understand that, but I think
makes
in the
great, but-
future, I'd propose November 15th. Well, it's an administrative issue, so I'll take
Next
care
year.
of it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
So-
you, Ruth.
So we want the same motion as the prior.
Mhm.
So I'll make an emotion to adjust the late fee for Jiffy Lube to half of the stated fee of $700, which will be reduced to $350 to be paid within 30 days. And if not paid within 30 days, the full late fee will be assessed.
You have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, Laura Gorbo,
Aye.
Candace Linehan?
Aye. Linehan, aye.
Silver eye, all in, no nays, okay? So going forward, we will do the same motion, and Cindy, just let us know how it works out.
I will.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda,
Can I ask you guys a question?
sure.
We do have some other ones, as Cindy mentioned, that just, it was too late for this agenda.
You should do the same.
So would you like for the next meeting, do you want us to do the same thing at the next meeting? Or do you want to set a policy for this year and this year only that we're assessing them 50%? Or would you like to do it on a case-by-case basis?
The one coming forward sounds like there was a lot of communication and technical glitches. It may not fall under the same scenario.
Okay, fine, we'll do it on a case-by-case basis.
I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose you could consider offering this solution to the people that are outstanding. And if they are okay with that, then that could be it. And then anybody else that would like to discuss it further, we could have them at our next meeting. There are some people, maybe they'll say, all right, fine, I'll take half and we'll be done with it.
That's also something. And maybe just listing, maybe the case by case, because we may come upon something that, you know, someone really had a hardship or there really was a difficult problem, and even
That's
though.
fine, no problem. That's no
Thank you.
issue.
Okay,
Right,
thank you.
suggestion.
Good idea, though.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the approval of an application for Ying Sar at 111 Albion Street.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Welcome.
Trying to soften us up with a dog, are you?
Welcome, happy.
The dog wanted to say hi, that's all. He wants
Oh, very sweet.
Nice to
That's-
meet
to
you.
say, that's Coco, by the way.
Okay, and Ling, what type of spa are you opening?
She speaks limited English, so I'm just here to help her. I'm a friend. She has a massage location that's already in operation on Albion Street. It's been in operation for about, I think about 3 years now anyways, in her name. And she just wants to have the application stated with a Body Works heading rather than a massage or both.
What's the address on Albion Street? Is it the one in the brick building?
The address, honey.
111 Albion Street.
111 Abington Street,
Is
111.
that the very end near North Avenue on the right-hand side?
It's kind of near the end, I believe. Yeah, I think there's another business or two after it before it gets to
Right, yeah, I know. And then
From-
it's the brick building.
I believe so, yes, a big brick building, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the reason we have this on the agenda is when we did the query check and the SORI check, there was a conviction on her record related to sexual impropriety.
What was the young lady's name, though? I think that was prior to her owning it, but go ahead. What was the lady's name? Do you recollect? Or the person's name, rather?
Hold on, let me grab the file.
Okay, very good. Did you have a young lady working for you that had with the law? She had an issue with the law, the police in the past? Anybody that you know of? Did you have anybody that had a police problem, conviction with the law that worked for you when you when she was working there?
No,
No, I didn't think so. Okay.
Yes, no, nothing.
Just to interject,
Songjiling, SONGXIOLING.
Yes.
Soling.
Oh, no.
No, that was nobody that was affiliated with her. How long ago was that, ma'am, if you may let her know?
This was in January.
It was in January.
January?
Of 2020,
Yeah,
Did you have-
21.
of 21, so this January. Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
Could you have this, could you tell her the spelling again, please, on the woman's name, please?
SONG.
Yings,
S
S-O-N.
is in Sam, O-N-G.
SONG. Song.
So, did you?
Oh, no. This girl's no work for me. I have this business 2 years ago.
But this was in 2021.
2021.
This month.
No. I just in spa.
There was another business that was there that I remember she telling me, that had nothing to do with her, that had some issues. Now, she hasn't had any issues since she's been there whatsoever, so. And that first SONG never worked for her, so it's maybe a
So
misunderstanding.
why is it part of the application?
So this
And
name,
that name is on the application, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
The name,
So-
G is on the application you fill out?
Oh,
you
no,
thought.
no me.
Know you?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay, she says it's on your application, the one you fill out.
Oh, no, no, no. My store, no.
Okay, whose name is on the application that you put into the town of the city of Wakefield, the town of Wakefield? Just
Me?
your name.
Just my name.
Okay, she's saying the only name that's on there would be, her first name is Ying, Y-I-N-G. Last name is X-I-O-N-G. So that's her name. That's the only name to her knowledge is on the application, or should be on the application. Does that make sense to you folks? I've
Yeah,
never
it
seen
does,
it.
but why was a query check done in January then for this other person?
If the name isn't on the application, then it shouldn't have any affiliation with her, I would assume. I own 3 car dealerships, so I know that the name on there is hers. She showed it to
They're the
me.
ones that do the query check, not us. We
No,
don't fill out the application.
Oh, this girls I know. So.
Okay, who is she?
Oh, I know. This girls she no coming. She no coming.
Oh, so
I
she's
just she want the body work license. She want the work for me. She give me ID, social security, just a picture. So I put it on her.
Oh,
Now she no work for me.
Did
now.
she work for you?
No. Now
She never come in to work for you.
Oh no.
Okay, this is a
No.
name evidently she put on the application in anticipation of that person working for her, but she never worked for her, is what she's stating. And she's not there now. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
no. Now she no work for me.
Yeah, she's never gonna work for you in Wakefield, I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
She has no affiliation with the business
Yes,
whatsoever, lady.
she got a body work license. She go here work. She no got. I don't want she work. You know.
Yeah, she
So
evidently.
this application has been going on for several months. And let's see, November, our inspector spoke to you and told you you needed to submit individual applications for each person.
The people that work for you, have you given the town hall?
So just let me finish. And then in December, Coral called again, saying we needed individual applications. So according to what we have now and what you're telling us now, you are the only person that works there?
Are you the only person that works at that location?
We
Now.
can say in English. If you want to translate into Chinese, but
Yeah.
if you're just speaking English to her, we can speak English to her.
Okay.
Oh, okay, go ahead, sorry. I'm just trying to make her understand, sorry.
Do we need an interpreter?
I'm kind of trying to help, but if you don't want me to, I won't. I'm just trying to
Well,
help.
I'm not sure how you're helping because you're
I mean,
still
I'm-
speaking in English.
What I'm referring to is I'm in healthcare, and so we have interpreter lines with the actual dialect, and it's a third person. I think you're doing, you're well-meaning, and you're kind of
Yeah, I'm just trying to help. That's all.
because you're right there. But
Yes.
I feel like
I can do this with an interpreter. I didn't have somebody here, but it's a big space. So now you are telling us you are the only person who will work there.
Oh no. Now I just now my business just massage store massage. Now work for me girls just have a massage license.
So you have 2 people working for you right
Yes,
now?
two
Okay.
girls, 2 people working for me. 2 girls she have a massage license. So I need a business. I need a change body work. Now too many people no massage license, so I need a body work now.
So we need the information for the other people who work for you.
Yes, I need people work for me now. Just have license, massage
No,
license. People know
They
too
need
much.
information. They need information on people that work for you now, that Two girls,
Each
they work.
person.
Each
You
person.
know what? I'm gonna call you back with a Chinese. Do you speak Mandarin?
Mandarin.
Mandarin, okay. I will call you with a Mandarin interpreter.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I think that's wise. I feel like we're going in circles. I think also, you know, for the board's sake, people are still confused as to licensing individuals through the state for massage, just like anybody else is licensed, where Body Works is definitely connected to the agency and needs to be looked at in every time that there's an application.
And for massage, it's the same thing. The establishment has a license and each individual person has a license.
Right.
And that's what we explained to her in October and November. She had applied for the establishment, but not the people.
Okay.
So then she submitted the paperwork for the people. One of those people was somebody who had already been convicted of sexual misconduct. And if you remember the raid that the local police department did, she was part of that.
Right.
But that wasn't when she owned the business, ma'am, if I may interject. That had nothing to do with her when they raided it, evidently, because they had a raid at your location?
Yeah.
Oh, they did? Do you understand raid? I think you get the Chinese interpreter, honey, and then you can talk to them on a different scale, a different level, and you can explain, okay?
Okay.
It's difficult this way. I don't want to get involved with this. Okay, they want to talk directly to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Okay. So we'll.
Okay, Ruth, you'll be able to get an interpreter, and I think maybe she will understand she needs applications not only for her business but for her employees. They also have to be checked out. I think
Well, I think she understood that because in the fall she gave us that information.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You gave
Okay,
them,
moving
Would
on.
things be different if the employees that she has working there now all pass the quarry?
Well, that's why we brought it to the board.
Right. Okay.
Because she was proposing an employee who has sexual misconduct conviction on her record.
Right. But if she was able to give information for each employee now and none of the people that she gave you information on had any sort of past problems, then things would be fine.
I think it's better to get the interpreter. I agree.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree too.
So we'll move that on until the next time. Next thing on the agenda is the health director's report. Ruth?
So again, I did not do a written one because by the time I write it, it's outdated. So I don't think there's anything non-COVID related of note. We are working to continue having an additional part-time inspector help with the restaurant inspections. Coral's doing a lot of COVID work, and we brought Sophie on last year to try to help us get caught up, because remember, we stopped doing inspections for a few months, just as everything got shut down. So that has worked out well, and we're working to continue that with Sophie, at least for 6 months this year, and see where we're at in June. And I believe that is all the non-COVID news. Am I missing anything, Cindy?
No,
No.
no, it's
Okay.
all.
So moving on to COVID. So there's basically 3 topics for COVID. One is our numbers, which I sent you the Excel spreadsheet over the weekend. So, no?
No.
All right, I'll send it tonight. I thought I sent it to both boards, but that's okay. I'll send it tonight.
That's why we're here.
And I will update it up to, up through today, because it would have been a couple of days out of date already anyway. So I'll do that. The numbers for Wakefield are not good,
Mhm.
not getting better. And I really can't say anything else besides that.
Do you have a rate?
Uh,
What were we last week? 8? I can't.
Well, it's about the same. I mean,
Yeah.
it's,
And we could just look at the dashboard tomorrow because it's updated Thursdays.
right, right. You can look at that. The data that Jen puts online is not going to align with the data that you see on the state's website, because the state's website is a week old when they publish it.
Right.
And Jen, on our local website, I give her current numbers. So when it comes out on Friday, it really is up, it's information through Thursday. So, it's roughly the same, but it's not going to be exactly the same as far as positivity rates and things like that go. So there's no patterns, there's no pattern of clusters. It's really primarily household, primarily adults, and then the rest of the household goes positive after that. Not school spread.
That's important.
That's the numbers, and we're going to start putting no, I think we already did start putting a monthly breakdown by age, because
Yeah.
I can do that through Maven.
That's already in there.
Yeah, so, and I'll do it again at the end of January, beginning of February with the January numbers. So it's pretty much kind of all over the place at this point.
But I noticed that it definitely trends younger than it did last spring.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because last spring it was primarily elderly and large clusters in long-term care facilities.
Yep.
So moving on to testing, the school department is testing their staff once a week. They've done it since they got back from Christmas break. They've done it twice or 3 times.
Great.
3 times. And their positivity rate is about 3.5-ish, depending on the week. They get about 110 to 120 people each week. They're paying Cataldo to do it. The emergency management director is running it because I'm just spread too thin. I know Cindy and Coral have each worked one of the Saturdays. I don't know who worked the 3rd Saturday.
I did the last 2. And
Okay.
It's on
So
Sunday.
Coral did the first one. Cindy's done the last 2.
Yeah.
It pretty well runs itself at this point. And I'm a little unclear as to how much longer they're doing it. But
why do we need if Cataldo's doing so I've been pricing COVID testing lately and who gets what for support. So why do we need a Wakefield person there if Cataldo's doing it? Can't they do it without us? I'm just thinking of personnel and
there's one person there, and that person
identifies.
No, Cindy, you want to explain what you do there?
Yep, I just checked to make sure that they're their school employee.
Okay.
I check them in, fairly just exactly what we did with the drive-through testing. Check them in and instruct them where to go and how to leave and move along. Yep.
Okay.
So as an aside, I got tested today in Saugus with 0 line.
Wow.
And I was there at 5. Yeah.
I'm hearing that just before they closed.
No, they close at 7, I believe.
7.
Oh, right. Okay.
7.
That's really accordion. That site has gone between your experience and 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I've had both experiences too.
Recently?
I was there an hour and a half with my daughter last week and 2.5 hours with her about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago was right after Christmas. Everybody was returning from traveling. And that
This was
was,
before Christmas, I guess.
yeah, that was the norm
Okay.
then. Since then, the line has been considerably less.
I asked the woman and she said they have more testers. They used to only have 2 or 3 and they were running 6 testers when we were there.
Oh,
And
wow.
today there was only 2 testers.
Wow.
And they said there was a line at 2 when they opened, but it had been very quiet after that. So
Well, you
that's,
just jinxed them for tomorrow.
that's anecdotal. Anyway,
They're all watching the inauguration.
so the there is a program that Jesse has rolled out for doing pool testing in the schools. Wakefield does not seem particularly interested in pursuing that at this time. I am in touch with Doug on a regular basis. And I try to go to their weekly meetings on Tuesday mornings, but the last few weeks there have been conflicts on Tuesday mornings, so I haven't been at those meetings. But we talk pretty much every day anyway.
Ruth, can I ask you a question? What
Yeah.
did Wakefield have a specific reason why they didn't want to do this new pool testing?
That's something you would talk to the superintendent about.
Okay, all right, thank you.
So the last and newest piece of the puzzle that I'm so happy to talk about is vaccination. So I know Elaine and Laurel know all about this because they were at the our first vaccination clinic. So our public health collaborative, which is Medford, Malden, Melrose, Wakefield, Winchester, and Stoneham, had made the decision to do the vaccination clinics for phase 1, the different bullets, the 6 bullets in phase 1, on a regional basis. So the first vaccination clinics that the health departments were involved in were the first responders. So there were 3 clinics held, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Medford, Malden, Melrose. We did a Vaccinate the Vaccinator clinic the Tuesday before, where we did 90 people that day. And all told, so fire and police from any of the 6 communities could go to any of the 3 clinics. And we also did some Cataldo ambulance people and Armstrong ambulance people. Not a lot, but some. So we did approximately 900 vaccinations. It was, the Melrose one went really, really smoothly. The other ones went really smoothly. Medford and Malden did it at their police stations and realized that really, it was fine for a small clinic of a couple of hundred, but was definitely not going to work for really a large vaccination site. But it went really well. Fire and police were happy. We'll be doing another set of 3 clinics 28 days after the first. People who had volunteered to work any of the clinics were also given the opportunity to be vaccinated, which is why we're all vaccinated. The first one. And it was a really positive experience. And we have some Wakefield firefighters who are EMTs or paramedics who have also said that they would be interested in helping with clinics. So that was great. And then then the schedule said that we could do congregate care as the next group that health departments could be involved in. Congregate care, despite their language, meant group homes, sober homes, domestic violence safe houses. So we contacted every group home that we knew of in Wakefield. They at that point really they all had made arrangements. They're all
Right.
part of either DMH or Elliott or Riverside. You know, they're run by bigger companies, and those companies had already made arrangements. So there weren't any in Wakefield specifically that we needed to accommodate, but we are doing two regional clinics for that population among the 6 communities, Monday and Tuesday next week in Medford and Malden. Not, you know, Wakefield, we seemed, Catherine called every single place. So we seem to be in good shape. And remember, it's not for youth. The vaccine's not approved for under 18. So if it's a group home for kids, then that you can't really help.
Right.
Except for the staff. So, so at that point, we were waiting till February 1st, which was the next date for the last 2 bullets of phase 1, until 11 o'clock today, when I was on the district's phone call and we're told, yeah, actually you can now vaccinate the rest of phase 1 starting tomorrow, which is all well and good, except of course we don't have vaccine for that group. So we placed an order for that vaccine. Again, we're going to do it on a regional basis, and our tentative as in
Not until we have
pencil,
vaccine, right?
is our plan is new locations in Malden and Medford, and starting next Thursday there will be a clinic in Malden on Thursday, hopefully Wakefield on Friday, Medford Saturday and Sunday, because they're using school gyms and the schools are in session, so they're only available to do them on weekends. Wakefield Monday, and Malden Tuesday. So again, anybody who's in phase 1 can come. So if it was a first responder who didn't make the other clinics, they're allowed to come to this clinic. Home-based healthcare workers and non-COVID facing healthcare workers. And we have explicit examples of who falls into those categories that we will put out in the communication. There will be, people can go onto the state's website where it has the map and the little dots. They'll be able to click on to the link and register. It will be pre-registration only. Anybody within those 6 communities who lives or works in those 6 communities will be able to come. They will have to show proof of their profession. So if they're a dentist or a physical therapist or a nurse, they're going to have to show that credential. And then they're going to have to show also proof of employment in one of these 6 communities or a resident. So they can show their driver's license if they live in any of those 6 communities. And if they work in Wakefield, but they don't live in one of those 6 communities, they need to show a pay stub or work ID or something that shows that they work there.
We're including the office staff who is always facing those patients, right? We're not asking everyone just to be a licensed person, are we?
I will need clarification on that.
Yeah, I would definitely check because, you know, they're right there.
I will get clarification on that.
Thank you.
So it is not for the general public.
Right.
If the general public comes, there will be somebody checking that, and unfortunately they'll be turned away. So we will be doing as much messaging as we possibly can so that so that we don't turn people away. We're proposing to use the Converse building at 200 Quannapowitt Parkway. We are in the process of working with them to do the paperwork and make the arrangements. We thought we had till February 1st. Now we've moved up a little bit. So we are working very hard to be able to do the first clinic on Friday, which would be a week from tomorrow, which is really, really fast considering all the things that need to happen before then. So I will put up the Monday clinic and I won't put the Friday clinic online until we've crossed all the T's and dot all the I's in time for Friday. And so we've ordered the vaccine. It should ship on Monday. We should have it Wednesday. And if all goes according to plan, which never happens, you know, we'll be doing 6 clinics in 6 days with a very large capacity. It's very hard to estimate, you know, how many people fall into those categories.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just making an educated guess. And after those 6 clinics, or even during those 6 clinics, we'll see how the registrations are going. And if it looks like we're not going to be able to accommodate everybody, we'll continue to do them. And if looks like we have plenty of slots open, then we know that we've accommodated everybody. And, you know, it includes weekdays, weekends, evenings, mornings. So we're trying to cover all of our bases. This is a group that primarily is working. So we're looking at doing like from 11 to 7, you know, making sure that there are evening appointments after work. And of course, Saturday and Sunday. I certainly a lot of these people work on Saturdays and Sundays too. So we're trying to give as much variety as possible
And
to
all those
accommodate
people,
different work schedules.
right, and this is still considered a collaboration between the 6 towns, so we can do each other,
Right,
and therefore opening the flexibility for spots, right?
right. Yes, you can go, anybody from these 6 communities can go to any of these clinics.
Good.
So we don't, and then we wait for phase 2. We don't, you know, phase 2 is not going to happen until phase 1 is complete, and pretty much complete statewide. You know, we're trying to do this together statewide, so it's not like if you live here, you can be vaccinated because that group is ready, but you can't if you live over there. It's all together, rowing in the same direction. And when we go to phase 2, now we're talking huge populations. The first group in phase 2 are people over 75 or people of any age with 2 comorbidities. And that may be changed. So that's a large group of people. At that point, each community will be vaccinating their own community. So we will, you know, we will be doing vaccination clinics for Wakefield residents or employees, because the second bullet includes the school department, obviously if you work for the Wakefield School Department. So I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I do want to, we get a lot of calls about when can I get vaccinated, and I highly recommend the state website, www.mass.gov, mass.gov. And if you type in, when can I get vaccinated? It will bring you right to that section. It has a great graphic of who is in which group. And, well, what not particularly relevant now for phase 1, which weeks each group is eligible. But as of today, that doesn't matter.
Excuse me for interrupting. I wonder, could Jen could she copy that graphic or send it out in one of the town emails?
It's on our website.
Oh, all right, good. But I mean, you know those burst emails that go out? Like the one that advertises our, the agenda for this meeting? So folks actually get it in their in basket. They don't have to go to the website and look for it.
I can ask her about it.
Yeah, what's the, I mean, like,
That was part of our
if
plan.
you sign up for town emails, you know, whenever there's something that the town
Oh,
feels like
that.
is important.
Yeah, we can definitely do it on that.
Because if it was sent out to people, maybe, you know,
Yeah, no, I think that's great. We're trying to find a balance of not reverse 911, which is,
Right.
more, we try to keep that for more extreme
Right.
issues.
but I mean, they send out when the Christmas trees are gonna be picked up. I feel like this is at least on par with that important.
No, Candace, you're absolutely right. And Jen is
Are you
great at
sure?
that. And when I think that's a great idea. One of the things that we're doing is bringing on a volunteer coordinator
Yep.
whose job is
To coordinate the volunteers.
recruiting the volunteers. Well, Jen will be doing the recruitment, and then everybody will be emailing the same person. That person will be doing spreadsheets with information, and then I say, okay, I need 10 vaccinators and 15 lay people, blah, and they do it, and that person gathers, does all that, and we'll be doing training in advance. So Coral is my prep mod coordinator. So she would meet in advance with anybody who would be on one of the computers. And Laurel has graciously committed to being the clinical coordinator. So she will be responsible for the clinical aspects. And I'm responsible for being a general all-around gopher and just doing whatever needs to be done. But Karen cannot be in charge of all these clinics and also be the point person for Maven. So it just doesn't work that way. So really trying to take that off her plate, although she still wants to be involved and of course is involved. But, and we were supposed to have an incident command meeting this morning that had to get postponed.
Yeah.
But, if you're thinking of the incident command chart, I would be operations, Tom will be logistics. Chief Scory obviously is in charge of security, Jen communications, and then there'll be people under each of those. So that's where we're going with that.
And the communications use, I mean, what was really nice and what people, it was really nice to work with Melrose. So what a bookend, right? Because that's how we started working with Melrose, was the H1N1. It's like, wow, talk about bonding. All we need is an occasional epidemic. But so the flow went really well this past Saturday. It was noted that, we were working with probably the fittest of the population, right? People who all have physical jobs.
All fire and police.
All fire and police, so they, and ambulance drivers. So they were really, so easy to move. And it was a good way to start, because then there was actually somebody there from the city clerk's office who was really good at counting lines and how people process. And she said definitely different, populations have, will move through the line a little bit differently. It was super nice to have, I really liked EMS being the people who were doing the 15 or 30-minute evaluations, because they probably do more epinephrine or emergency assessment than a nurse in the community, unless you were an ER nurse. And so, it worked out. It was a nice flow. I think we really figured it out, and we did use our incident command coded vests.
Our little vests for H1N1.
I need to work on goggles, because
You can
My
borrow
glasses and
mine.
everything else. I have way too much going on. I think, I might get prescription, but at any rate,
We're gonna buy more goggles because I think that people seem
shield
to
is
want the goggles versus the shield.
yeah,
So
the
that's
shield,
on my inventory list.
yeah, those shields are darn foggy. There's all sorts of different options out there, but kudos. It looked great. I would love it if we can get the Converse building to have everything except the vaccine be able to stay there, so things don't have to be schlepped back and forth, because that takes an awful.
That's the plan.
Yeah, that's all. That
Because the building
that
is
would be huge.
100% empty.
Yeah.
So that is the plan, to set it up and keep it set up until we don't need it anymore.
That's a great idea to use that building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember whose idea it was, but it might have been Steve Mayo's, but
Yeah.
We
it's
forget about that building all the time. And it was a medical building.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's really perfect.
Yeah.
And
It
they've
was,
been so great to work with.
it was fabulous, Ruth. I enjoy it. I like sticking people. That's my favorite thing. I really love that.
For the record, Elaine's arm didn't hurt, but mine
And-
did.
And someone else that I gave their shot to, I asked them
Best
today,
ever.
said to me, mine never hurt. And I go, oh, don't let Laurel know that. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
very good. It was great. It was really great. And it was a lot. I really liked getting to work with Melrose and the people there, because in a real world event, we're going to be together. So it was kind of nice to work with them and meet with them. And they were very nice. Very, very nice.
And, just because the Wakefield clinic will only be for Wakefield and the Melrose clinic will only be for Melrose, doesn't mean that we can't pool our resources.
Right.
So that, maybe we don't have enough Wakefield volunteers who can work on a Friday, but maybe there are some Melrose volunteers that can work on a Friday. So, we're a joint health department.
Yep.
I'm still one person, a little schizophrenic, but mainly one person. So there's, we're still going to share resources.
Well, and I think, I've already had people text me and ask if they, we needed help. And I said, as soon as I know what that channel is for you to write down your name, but we have plenty of things going on.
Talked to Steve tonight where we're this close to hiring somebody. And as soon as that person is hired, believe me,
Yep.
it'll be all over the airwaves
Well done.
and print.
That'll be fun. Is there anything else on the agenda or anything else you have to bring up, Ruth?
Yeah, under things that were too late for the, whatever it's called. So I just wanted to comment on the really tragic event
Oh, yeah.
in Wakefield. And the school department had a crisis meeting this afternoon, which I was part of. And they're really doing a great job in taking care of their staff and their students. There are a great deal of resources in place for tomorrow at Greenwood, but not too many, not to overwhelm anybody.
Right.
But all the principals and guidance counselors and obviously superintendent were on the call. They were very thoughtful, very sensitive, and
Doing the best.
they're on top of it. They're dealing with it. The police are also taking care of their officers, and as a community, it feels very supportive. And as the health department, we're there to support, and I appreciate Doug including me in his crisis management group. So
In the past, Nemlik and Riverside have been pulled in.
Right. Oh yeah, everybody's there. The Attorney General,
DA.
Yeah, DA has taken over the community room in the police station, which is why we couldn't have our meeting this morning. Yeah, they're on it.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Wakefield does have some experience with this. It's been a long
Yeah.
time, thank goodness, and that was really heartbreaking. Our thoughts definitely go out to the community.
Absolutely. So anyway, the health department was represented as part of that.
Good.
So that's all I have, and I am, everything with COVID is happening so quickly
Mhm.
that I'm trying to keep you informed as things happen, as opposed to waiting,
Yeah.
once a month, because by the time that 4 weeks comes, it feels like it was a year ago.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it does
It does
to me.
feel like our last meeting. I mean, it was last year.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, no, we appreciate the updates.
So I think it's just a little more effective to keep updating you. I have to say that the entire health department staff has been fabulous. Everybody, Cindy, Catherine, Coral,
Yeah, nice.
everybody's working COVID. Everybody's on Maven. Everybody's helping with contact tracing. We have hired and we have a 30-hour-a-week nurse that we have hired to do contact tracing 30 hours a week, plus one of the Melrose Board of Health members is also doing a good 30 hours a week doing Wakefield contact tracing. So, well, there's 60 hours plus Karen's hours, plus a bunch of other, everybody else's little hours. So it is overwhelming. It feels like swimming against a tsunami. We're doing as many as we can, but the majority of the cases are still going to the Community Tracing Collaborative. We flag every case that's under 19. Karen checks Maven multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. Anybody who's under the age of 19, we pull and immediately investigate. So, we're getting there. I feel like at least there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, the only thing that I would add is that other business is still happening. So case in point, tonight we're doing other services for the health, the Board of Health. Also, just to let you know that Wake Up continues to chip away. So they're having, on a high note, they're having monthly meetings. The next one is on February 23rd.
Yeah, we just had it.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Sorry. No, yes, we had it yesterday. And the next meeting is February 23rd.
Right.
If anyone wants to join in. And on February 10th, there's a co-sponsored event on Zoom, Wakefield Mental Health Forum, featuring Dr. Stuart Ablon, Skill Not Will, How to Reduce Conflicts with Kids Through Collaborative Problem Solving. So these are kind of those preventative and protective factor talks that the collaborative done, and Catherine has done really great work with the Youth Council. They're an impressive bunch. They're in touch. So I just wanted you to all know that that's still working really well. And, as we were on the meeting, Catherine and I were reflecting that we lost our police officers in the Zoom call, and now, and certainly we now know why, but they are definitely in our partners. And once again, I am always reminded of how progressive we are in Wakefield to have both a recovery coach and a clinician working with Wakefield Police Department. And I think that, we can't express our gratitude more that's the way we think things should be done, because I think it's a model.
Right.
All for me.
That's it.
All right. Let's just decide the next meeting, I believe, would be February 17th. That's the week of President's Day. That is Ash Wednesday, but that won't matter. Is that school vacation week? I'm
It is, but People
But-
shouldn't be going away, so everybody should be here.
Yeah, well, you never know. They might be up in their room pretending they're somewhere.
Candace, are you gonna
Like,
pretend to hide? You're the only school parent amongst us.
My
yeah.
kids are too young to be in school.
Oh,
So, the
They're
next,
that young?
yeah.
Yeah, my kids are 5 and 3.
Oh my God. And you're
Yeah.
on the Board of Health? So busy? Work. Wow.
Okay, never mind.
the next
Okay.
meeting would be February 17th,
Yes.
okay, at 7 PM. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second it. Corbill?
Aye.
Yes. Aye. Candace,
Linehan,
Linehan?
aye.
Okay, Silva says aye. Thank you very much. And I feel bad, Ruth. Usually you're saying you're gonna go away on vacation. I was kind of
I know, we're not
forward
like,
to hearing that, but it's okay. We'll wait for your big one when this is all over.
You better believe it, baby.
pull out the photo albums.
Yeah, we will. Well, good night, everyone, and thank you. And just to let you know, these people that are doing the contact tracing are phenomenal. And Ruth, kudos to your Melrose School nurses.
Oh, they're
I
awesome,
have
aren't
been
they?
working with them, and they have been phenomenal. They are hysterical. They think I'm crazy because every time they have a big problem, they send it to me, and I try to solve it. But they have been above and beyond, and they really do deserve some recognition for that. They
Yes,
really do.
they do. I agree with you.
Big parade when this is all over. Big parade.
Yeah, yeah. That's if I'm finished typing in my cases. Naughty. This past week has not. Sunday was busy, super
Uh-oh.
busy. But it was
Right.
fun though. It was a lot of fun. It is.
Let me know.
All
if
right.
need
Thank you
thoughts
very
on it.
much, everyone. And good
Night.
night.
Bye, everybody. Stay safe.